Hello there. It looks like you're having a little bit of difficulty with the countries of South America. Yeah. Well, don't fret. The fortunate part is that the countries of South America are a little bit easier to remember than the countries of other continents, mostly because there's fewer countries in South America to remember. So we're going to go through them one by one, and for this lesson we're only going to cover the countries themselves. In a separate lesson we will cover their capitals, and in a third lesson we will cover their flags. How does that sound? Excellent. Well, in that case, let us grab the map that we learned from. Isn't it cool and colorful? Now, it's a little bit difficult to read, but the different countries are located by the different colors on the map. So, we're going to start from top to bottom and go through each country, okay? And I'll bring the map closer to you so you can see what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to bring it a little bit closer, and we're going to talk about the northwestern region of the country. Northwestern region. So, let's start with the mouth of the continent. This country is very important and has a very interesting and rich history. This is Colombia. Colombia. This is where it enters. This is where Central America enters through, is Colombia. Colombia. Colombia is located between this purple country, Venezuela, and this orange country, Ecuador. They used to be one big country, but then they broke up into smaller territories. Underneath Ecuador, we have Peru, I believe. Yes, Peru. This is the land of Cusco, Cusco's kingdom, the kingdom of Cusco. This is where you find a lot of llamas, and also Machu Picchu. Very interesting country. I love it. Now, next to Peru, underneath Colombia, and beneath Venezuela, we have this very, very, very big country. This country is not Hispanic, but it is Latino, but it is not Hispanic. This country is Brazil. They speak Portuguese in Brazil. The rest of the country speaks Spanish in different accents. The Argentinians sound more Italian, the Colombians sound more like Sean Connery, so I guess like Welsh. But to me it sounds kind of Scottish, but maybe Welsh. I've never really heard an authentic Welsh accent. They talk like this. Argentinians talk like this, so it's the Spanish. And that's about the only accents that really jump out to me. But Brazil speaks Portuguese. Eu falo la português. I think I said it correctly because I'm a teacher. Now, next to Brazil, we have the heart of the continent, which is Bolivia. Bolivia is located in the center of all of South America. It's kind of like its heart. Now, underneath Bolivia, we have Paraguay. Paraguay is located beneath Brazil and beneath Bolivia. Paraguay. And underneath Paraguay and Bolivia a little bit, and underneath, well, I guess, yeah, next to Brazil, I suppose, is Argentina. Argentina has a very beautiful flag. And Argentina, back in the early 1900s all the way up to the 1950s, was seen as the pinnacle of industry. Many Europeans flocked to Argentina to just see their architectural developments. It was at the cutting edge of industry and of society. But then something happened with their economy, which was attributed to persons. And now Argentina has been having some difficulties. But Argentina's flag is gorgeous, its history is gorgeous, and all of the land itself is stunning. And the same can be said for all of South America. Literally the same case over and over and over again. And it's happening everywhere. Now, next to Argentina, we have Chile. Chile is this very slim piece of land that is basically all ocean coast. The entire country of Chile is like a big, big beach. Chile, right here. And now, oh, and also Cape Horn. This used to be the way that boats would travel through when they were transporting goods or having to sail from one part of the eastern side, the Atlantic Ocean, in order to get to the Pacific Ocean, whether it was to reach California or to reach any of these Western countries. They would have to undergo a very perilous journey around Cape Horn. And this area right here is pretty much dead man's land. This is where most ships would crash and not make it, basically. In fact, the trees in this southern part here, the wind gusts are so strong that the trees grow sideways in the direction of the wind gusts. And interestingly enough, to get into some spirituality, I guess, there's an interesting, I would say, conspiracy, perhaps theory. It's kind of just a conjecture, but there is a shape of a snake head underneath Cape Horn. It looks exactly like a snake head, and you could see its like body coiled around the earth, and its tail, I think, ends in the northern point of the world. Its head is located on the southern point, and people speculate that this might be the mythical or biblical or spiritual concept of the Leviathan, which is just a snake who is said to be sleeping dormant, or waiting dormant rather, underneath the oceans. I don't quite know how deep that goes, but it is interesting that there is a snake-like figure going around the world, and that there is kind of like a spiritual interpretation of a waiting snake underneath the water. Just an interesting point. Moving on, we also have here, which I guess is not yet last, but certainly not least. None of these final countries are least. This one is Uruguay. Uruguay is known for its sheep, and it also has a lot of beach land too. And now, going all the way back up, above Brazil, and next to Venezuela, we have Guyana. Guyana is right here, and it's known for its black Cayman alligators. The black Cayman alligators inhabit Guyana. In fact, hippos also inhabit Colombia, but that was because of Pablo's fault. Pablo kind of screwed over Colombia a little bit when it came to the hippos. That's insane. And then we have this final country, but certainly not least, Suriname. Suriname has the squirrel monkeys. So yes. To recap, just a quick little run through before we get to our little memory test. We have Colombia at the very top, the mouth of the country, next to, or in between, next to Colombia, or rather that Colombia is in between Venezuela and Ecuador. Beneath Ecuador, we have Peru, the land of Cusco, Cusco's land, Cusco's kingdom, the land of Machu Picchu and llamas. And then next to Venezuela, we have Guyana, very good. Next to Guyana is Suriname, very good. Underneath Guyana and Suriname, we have Brazil, very good. Underneath Brazil, we have the heart of the continent, which is Bolivia, very good. See, there's not that many countries to remember, and they all have a very strong relationship with one another and the country. There's a lot of very rich personalities or rich cultures there. Now, next to Bolivia, we have Paraguay, very nice. And then kind of like across from Paraguay, we have, yes, across. It kind of ends in the same way. Paraguay, Uruguay, very good. It's a cross. It's underneath Bolivia, or rather Brazil, but it's a cross right here. And now below Paraguay, next to Uruguay, and underneath Bolivia, Argentina, very good. And this long beach of a country, it's right next to Argentina, very good. It's Chile. So Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Chile, Peru, Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, Paraguay, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, and Chile. Very good. Did I miss anything? No, I think that's about it. So, let us begin our memory test, our memory quiz. Okay, so now we're going to try to test your memory using the blank map and see if you can point out each South American country. Okay? Here is the word bank in case you forget some of the countries. You can cross them off if you'd like, or even a pen if you'd like, just to kind of assist you. But remember, when the test does come up, the real test, not just a little memory exercise, there won't be a word bank for you to cross off. So we're going to have to try to keep these names fresh in our head, okay? Okay, excellent. Let's start with the mouth of the continent. What country is this one? Colombia, very good. And next to Colombia, not towards the south, but towards the north. What is the country next to Colombia? Right over here at the very tippity top of the continent. Venezuela, very good. And next to Venezuela is, they're known for their caiman alligators. Guyana, very good. And next to Guyana we have Suriname, very good. Now we're going to go down here. This little line here is just the Amazonian River. So never mind this little line. It's this big, big, big country. Big country. Speaks Fala le Portuguese. What big country in Latin America speaks Portuguese so they're not Hispanic? That's right. This big country is Brazil. Now, underneath Colombia to the other side, what other country neighbors Colombia? To its right. Ecuador, very good. And underneath Ecuador, we're going to get, this is the land of llamas and Machu Picchu. Very good, Peru. And the heart of the continent, the heart of South America. Very good, Bolivia. And next to Bolivia, we have, beneath Bolivia and Brazil, and above this other nameless country, what country do we have here? Paraguay, very good. And kind of like across from Paraguay, ends in the same way. What name do we have? Uruguay, very good. You're doing excellent. You don't even need to use this word bank, but I will cross them off at the end. And underneath Paraguay and Bolivia, what is this big country's name? This long and big country's name. They speak Spanish in a very Italian way. Very good. This big country is Argentina. Argentina. This was a glorious country, much like Venezuela as well. In fact, much like all of these countries back in the 1900s. The entirety of South America was honestly the pinnacle of beauty until a couple of things happened. Now, next to Argentina, this very long beach-like country. What long beach-like country neighbors Argentina and is below Peru? Very good. This is Chile. Chile. So, to recap, we have Colombia. I'm going to cross that one off on the list. Right there. And then we have next to Colombia, to its left is Venezuela. So I'm just going to cross that one off. And then to the other right of Colombia, we have Ecuador. So we're just going to cross Ecuador off. And then underneath Ecuador, we have, right, Peru. So I'm going to cross Peru off. And then next to Peru, we have, very good, Brazil. Now, going upwards, next to, yeah, we already covered Venezuela. Next to Venezuela, we have, above Brazil, Guyana. And next to Guyana, we have Suriname. Very good. And did we cover Peru? Yes, we covered Peru. The heart of the continent. Very good. Bolivia. Okay, and then next to Bolivia we have Paraguay. Very good. And then underneath Paraguay we have Argentina. Very good. And then to the left of Argentina, below Brazil. Brazil. Very good. We have Uruguay. And then next to Argentina, the coastal country. Chile, very good. Okay, well, you did excellent on your recap. I have full confidence that you'll pass this test with flying colors. Now, do you have any questions for me by chance? Okay, no, of course. The capitals test will be held next week. We can go over that lesson tomorrow if you'd like, especially since the test is also going to be tomorrow, so by after the class, you'll have to learn the capitals anyways. And then the flags test will also be next week, so we can cover the flag section the day after tomorrow. And that way you're fully prepared with the knowledge of what South America is. Okay, good. Any further questions? Yes, we're going to be doing global history, or global geography rather. Not global history, global geography. So we're going to recap South America right now. We recapped Europe last week. Next week we're going to recap, once our South America lesson is over, we're going to recap Asian history, or Asian geography. That's going to be very difficult. That's the biggest continent in the world. Very difficult. And then after Asian geography, we're going to cover African geography. And then, honestly, the easiest continent to capture is Oceania. That one has the fewest countries in it, or the continent with the fewest countries. Although Antarctica is also considered a continent, so Antarctica is the one with the fewest countries, and then Oceania is the next one, and then South America is the next one, and then North America, I think, is the next one with the least countries. And then Africa, or no, maybe Europe. Which one has more countries, Europe or Africa? I think Europe has the most countries, second to Asia. So then it would be Africa, then Europe, then Asia. Yeah. Any further questions? Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'll see you tomorrow, and study up. Take care. Bye-bye. Wow, thank you for staying after class again. Typically when you have a lot of mentoring, a lot of tutoring, and a lot of studying, you tend to pass your tests with flying colors. So I'm sure that because you're dedicating so much time to this lesson, that once again you'll be doing very well on this test. Now, as you know, this test is going to cover the capitals of South America. So we're going to do the same recap as we did with the countries, but now with the capitals. Are you ready? Okay, good. Now, once again, we're going to go from top to bottom, top to bottom. So first and foremost, we're going to recap the names of each, or the names of the capitals of each country. And then we'll begin the little memory exercise. How does that sound? Excellent. Okay, let's begin. Now, as we learned, this is the country of Colombia. What is the capital of Colombia, you might ask? It's Bogota. I'm going to say it probably in the Spanish way, just because Bogota, it doesn't sound right in English. Bogota. Bogota. The capital of Colombia is Bogota. Bogota. Now, next to Colombia is Venezuela. The capital of Venezuela is Caracas. Caracas is the capital of Venezuela. Caracas. Now, next to Colombia, to the right, as we learned, is Ecuador. What is the capital of Ecuador? Quito or Quito. Quito or Quito. English pronunciation Quito, Spanish pronunciation Quito. Now below Ecuador, we have the country of Peru. What is the capital of the country of Peru? Lima. Lima. Lima is the capital of Peru. Now we travel next to Peru, and we have the big Portuguese-speaking country. Big Portuguese-speaking country. This one is a little bit easier. It's kind of like Oklahoma. What is the capital of Oklahoma? Oklahoma City. So likewise, what is the capital of Brazil? No, not Brazil City. Brasilia. Brasilia is the capital of Brazil. And now we're going to go right back up. We're going to go up to Guyana. Guyana. Now, do you know the capital of Guyana? Georgetown. excellent. And next to our Guyana is Suriname, and the capital of Suriname is Paramaribo. Very good. Paramaribo, right over there. Now we're going to go all the way back down to the heart of the continent, Bolivia. Do you happen to know the capital of Bolivia? Very good. La Paz. La Paz. And then next to Bolivia is Paraguay. Do you happen to know the capital of Paraguay? Asunción. Very good. Right there. And now beneath Paraguay we have this big Italian sounding Spanish speaking country that was the pinnacle cutting edge of industry. Do we happen to remember the name of the country? Argentina. Very good. And what is the capital of Argentina? Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires. Good airs. Buenos Aires. And next to Argentina we have this very long coastal country. Very long coastal country. What was the name of that very long coastal country? Chile. Very good. And what is the capital of Chile? Santiago. Very good. Santiago is the capital of Chile. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, we have this country right over here, across from Paraguay, below Brazil, next to Argentina. What is the capital of this country? Montevideo. Very good. Montevideo is the capital of Uruguay. Now, we're going to recap all of the capitals yet again, okay? Just to make sure that they're nicely embedded within our memory. Okay, so we have the country of golden coffee right here, the mouth of South America, very tippity top. What was the capital of Colombia? Bogota. Very good. Capital of Venezuela? Very industrious, very wealthy nation up until about like 8 years ago, whenever Maduro got into power. But also Maduro was, yeah, anyways, we're not going to get into it. What is the capital of Venezuela? Caracas. Very good. And to the right of Colombia is Ecuador. And what is the capital of Ecuador? Do you happen to recall the capital of Ecuador? Quito. Very good. Now, below Ecuador is Peru. Below Ecuador is Peru. Do you happen to remember the capital of Peru? Lima. Very good. Very good. And it's kind of like lima bean, but not pronounced lima bean. Lima. And then next to why do I want to keep saying Chile? Peru. Next to Peru is the big Portuguese-speaking country, Brazil. Very good. And what is the capital of Brazil? Brasilia. Very good memory. And then above Brazil we have Guyana. Very good. And what is the capital of Guyana? Georgetown. Very good. Oh, your memory is excellent. Now next to Guyana we have Suriname. Very good. And what is the capital of Suriname? Paramaribo. Very good. Very good. You have such an excellent memory. Now back to the heart of the continent. Bolivia. Very good. Excellent memory. And what is the capital of Bolivia? La Paz. The peace. La Paz. La Paz is the capital of Bolivia. Now, next to Bolivia, we have Paraguay. Very good. And what is the capital of Paraguay? Asunción. Very good. Now, underneath Paraguay, we have the country with honestly the most beautiful flag in the world, in my opinion. What is this country? Argentina. And what is the capital of Argentina? Buenos Aires. Very good. Now, next to Argentina, we have this very coastal, long country. What was the name of this country again? Chile. Very good. And what is the capital of Chile? Santiago. Very good. Do you happen to know what Santiago is Spanish for? James. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have Uruguay. Very good. And what is the capital of Uruguay? Montevideo. Very good. So we have Bogota, Caracas, Georgetown, Paramaribo, Brasilia, Ecuador, Quito, Lima, Bolivia, La Paz, Asunción, Montevideo in Uruguay, very good, Buenos Aires in Argentina, and Santiago in Chile, very good. Once more, Bogota, Colombia, Caracas, Venezuela, Quito, Ecuador, Lima, Peru, Brasilia, Brazil, La Paz, Bolivia, Asunción, Paraguay, Montevideo, Uruguay, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Santiago, Chile. Very good. Okay. We're going to begin our memory test very soon, but I do want to give you congratulations for how strongly your memory has developed during these lessons. Study, study, study. It's always excellent to study as much as you can. That way, the world around you makes more sense. And also recall that if you're having a pretty easy time with the names of the countries and the names of the capitals, we're also going to give you visuals on the flags of the country. Once again, there's not going to be that many. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 countries, 12 flags to remember or memorize according to their countries. But once again, it can be a little bit tricky to recall. Also, a little fun fact that we did not cover in this geography lesson: the Galapagos Islands and Easter Island is also in Latin America, South America. So, little fun notes of knowledge to keep in mind. Although I think Latin America is pretty much both Central and South America, and then South America is literally just South America. Anyways, let's begin. Okay, so we're getting the blank little map out, and we're gonna go and recap each country with their capital. Ready? Excellent. Okay, so this country, as we remember, is Colombia. Very good. And the capital of Colombia is, that's right, Bogota. I'm gonna scratch that one off. Okay. And now the country to the left of Colombia is Venezuela. Very good. And the capital of Venezuela is Caracas. Very good. Right there. Okay. And now the country right next to Venezuela and above Brazil is Guyana. Very good. And the capital of Guyana is Georgetown. Very good. And next to Guyana we have Suriname. Very good. And the capital of Suriname is Paramaribo. Very good. Okay. And now the country to the right of Colombia is Ecuador. Very good. And the capital of Ecuador is Quito. Very good. I'm going to scratch that one off. Okay. And the country to the bottom of Ecuador, or lower southern to Ecuador, is Peru. Very good. And the capital of Peru is Lima. Very good. And now the very big country that speaks Portuguese. The name of that country is Brazil. Very good. And the capital of Brazil is Brasilia. Very good. Okay. Okay, right there. Okay, very good. And now the heart of the country. Heart of the country is Bolivia. Very good. And the capital of Bolivia is La Paz. Very good. Okay. Okay, very good. And next to Bolivia we have Paraguay. Very good. And the capital of Paraguay is Asunción. Very good. You are flying through this lesson like usual. I am very proud of you. And now across from Paraguay, underneath Brazil, is Uruguay. Very good. And what is the capital of Uruguay? Montevideo. Very good. Okay. Excellent. And now, this Italian sounding Spanish country. Argentina. Very good. And what is the capital of Argentina? Buenos Aires. So good. Okay. Right there. And now, next to Argentina, this long coastal country. Long coastal country. What is the capital of that long coastal country? Santiago. Very good. Well, you did excellent. That concludes our capitals lesson. A little bit shorter than our countries lesson. But you did absolutely phenomenal. So, the test is tomorrow. And I know you're going to pass the test just like you passed your country's test. Tomorrow we will recap the flags of the countries. So that way tomorrow you are ready for, or the next day, you are ready for your flags test of South America. Any questions, comments, or concerns? We will be recapping the names of the countries and also the capitals of the countries in those flag lessons as well. Yes. So you'll have to know everything about South America's geography for the flag test as well. But at that point, based off the building blocks we've just established, I think you'll do fine. Any other questions? Yes, the same process will be repeated for the other continents. Anything else? Alrighty then, well in that case, take care. Bye-bye. Okay, after all of your studying, we only have one more lesson to recap. Thank you for attending all of your lessons. It has clearly been paying off. In this little recap, we're going to cover the flags of South America. Once again, there's only 12 countries, so there's only 12 flags. So, because there are only 12 flags, we're also going to recap the countries and capitals, but this lesson will not be that long. So, let us get this little rubber band off of the cards. Okay. And we're going to begin. Are you ready? Okay. Like before, we are going to go one at a time, recap the country and the flag and the capital, and then I'll do a little flash game to kind of see your memory at its work. Okay? This lesson might be shorter than the other two, but let's begin. We're also going to be covering some of the territories of Latin America, or South America rather, just as a little fun bonus game, but I will be parting the territories from the countries itself. Okay? So, little fun fact, this is the Falkland Islands. The capital of the Falkland Islands is Stanley. They speak English here, but this is a territory within South America. So, Falkland Islands, territory within South America, and its language is English. I'm going to put that to the side. Here is the flag of one big country in South America. It speaks Portuguese, and it's the largest country in South America. Do you recall what that is? Brazil. Very good. And do you happen to remember the capital of Brazil? Brasilia. Very good. This is the flag of Brazil. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia, and their language is Portuguese. I'm going to leave that to the side. This one is also another territory. It's French Guiana. Its capital is Cayenne, and it's also in South America, and they speak French. I'm going to put this one to the side though. Okay. Here's another flag. This country is next to Venezuela. It's next to Guyana, and it's above Brazil. Which country is next to Guyana and above Brazil? Suriname. Very good. And what is the capital of Suriname? Paramaribo. Very good. Paramaribo. Oh. And their language is actually Dutch. Interesting. Dutch. There's a small subculture in South America. I think they're in Colombia, but they might probably be in Suriname disproportionately in comparison to the rest of Latin or South America. The Mennonites, they're German slash just Dutch Protestants who are kind of like the Amish, but not really. The Amish are separate. It's an American concept. So yeah, the language of Suriname in South America is Dutch. Very interesting. Very interesting. I love German history, or just Germanic history. It's very interesting. Very structured and organized and effective. Very beautiful. Now, the next country that we're going to discuss is which country is next to Venezuela? The country next to Venezuela above Brazil. Guyana. Very good. And what is the capital of Guyana? Georgetown. And actually, considering the capital of Guyana, their official language is English, not Spanish, English. Now, this is the flag of Guyana. As you can see, it kind of has 3 triangles within it. So, the flag of Suriname kind of looks a little bit African to me. It has a yellow star, a red line. It's green, white, red, and yellow star. And then the flag of Guyana, it has triangles in it. It's kind of like that one game that I don't know that people play on cruises, where it's like you just put a stick and slide it, and then anyways, it's going to get more confusing if I try to explain it that way. So I'm just going to leave it to the side. Guyana, and their official language is English. And Suriname's official language is Dutch. Now, this country is the one that's currently going through a bit of difficulty right now, unfortunately. Humanitarian crisis. Now, this country, as you're going to note with Colombia and Ecuador, has gold, blue, and red. Gold, blue, and red. But it also has a rainbow of stars and a little insignia in the top corner. A coat of arms, I suppose. Yes, a coat of arms. So, what country is this one? What country does this flag belong to? Venezuela, very good. And the capital of Venezuela is Caracas, very good. I'm going to put this one to the side. Now, as you noticed, gold, blue, red, gold, blue, red, gold, blue, red. What is the name of this country? Remember, Venezuela and Ecuador used to be part of this country, but then they broke up into 3 nations. What is the name of this country? Colombia, exactly. That's why Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador share a similar type of flag. And what is the capital of Colombia? Bogota. Very good. Excellent. And their language is Spanish. What is the language of Venezuela? Spanish. Now, here is our last little member here. Gold, blue, red, gold, blue, red, with a little, it's not a coat of, well, I guess it could be considered a coat of arms, but I don't really think it's a coat of arms. Anyways, so, what last country is in the mouth or top west, northwest part of South America? Ecuador. Very good. And what is the capital of Ecuador? Quito. Very good. This is the flag of Ecuador. Next. Underneath Ecuador, we have this country, the country with Machu Picchu and Cusco's kingdom, the kingdom of Cusco. Peru. Very good. Peru is red, white, red with a little coat of arms in the middle as well, and it has a cornucopia in it and a llama, of course. So, what is the capital of Peru? Lima, very good. And what is the national language of Peru? Spanish, very good. Now we have, this is another territory. We covered this in our last lesson. It's one of the 2 islands that we covered from South America. Do you happen to remember? Think Chad. Not the country. Think Chad, like Easter Island. Very good. This is the flag of Easter Island. It's a boat. It's a red boat in a white flag. It's the flag of Easter Island. And what is the national language of Easter Island? Spanish. Very good. And what is the capital of Easter Island? Hangaroa. Hangaroa. I'm going to leave that on the territory side. We don't need to remember those. Not for the test, but it would be nice to remember those just so it's kind of like knowledge in your back pocket. Now, this country is red, yellow, and green, and it's underneath Brazil, and it's the heart of the continent. Bolivia, very good. This is the country of Bolivia's flag. It also has its own coat of arms right here. Red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green. And what is the capital of Bolivia? La Paz. And what is the national language of Bolivia? Spanish, very good. So, flag of Bolivia. Red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green. I'm going to put that one to the side. This one is going to be very easy just because the answer is in the flag itself, which makes things very easy. But nonetheless, we're still going to recap it. So, okay, we have a flag that is blue, white, and red, and it has a little wreath around it and a little star in the middle. Do you happen to know the name of this country? Country's flag? Paraguay. Very good. And the capital of Paraguay is Asunción. Very good. And the national language of Paraguay is Spanish. Very good. Okay. I'm going to put this one over here. I also like Uruguay's flag a lot too. Not as much as I like Argentina's flag, but I like Uruguay's flag a lot too. So, what happens to be the name of this country's flag? Uruguay. Very good. Uruguay kind of looks like the Greek flag in my opinion, but not really. Like the Greek flag is kind of like this, but I think it has the cross in the middle, as we recapped last week. Instead, this one doesn't have the blue cross, it just has the sun. And the capital of Uruguay is Montevideo. Very good. And the national language of Uruguay is Spanish. Very good. Okay, I'm going to put this one to the side again. And finally, Miss Angelica's favorite flag, Argentina. Very good. The capital of Argentina is Buenos Aires. Very good. And the national language of Argentina is Spanish. Very good. Okay. So now let's recap our knowledge. So I'm going to try to do a little mix so that way we don't get them in the same order that we just covered them. Okay. So, ready? I'm going to just flash it upwards and you just tell me which flag each one is. Ready? Okay, good. What is the name of this flag? Quickly. Oh, very good. Paraguay. Okay. What is the name of this flag? Bolivia. Very good. And the name of this flag? Very good. Peru. And the name of this flag? Very good. Ecuador. And the name of this flag? Very good. Colombia. And the name of this flag? Very good. Venezuela. And the name of this flag? Very good. Guyana. And the name of this flag? Very good. Argentina. And the name of this flag? Very good. Uruguay. And the name of this flag? Very good. Suriname. And the name of this flag? Brazil. Very good. Okay, well, let's do one more recap because we have enough time to do so, if you'd like. Okay, excellent. I'm going to shuffle them up a little bit more again, so that way they're nice and mixed. Ready. The name of this flag? Guyana. Very good. The name of this flag? Suriname. Very good. Name of this flag? Colombia. Very good. Name of this flag? Ecuador. Very good. Name of this flag? Peru. Very good. Name of this flag? Yes, very good. Bolivia. Name of this flag? Uruguay. Very good. Name of this flag? Venezuela. Very good. Name of this flag? Argentina. Very good. Name of this flag? Paraguay. Very good. And the name of this flag? Brazil. Okay. We're going to do one more run through, but this time we're going to include the capitals. Okay. And also the languages. Capitals and languages. One little run through. Okay, ready? Okay. Are you ready? Oh. Name of this flag? Suriname. Very good. Do you happen to remember the capital of Suriname? Paramaribo. Very good. And what is the language of Suriname? Dutch. Very good. Now, excuse me. There we go. Name of this country? Brazil. Very good. And the capital of Brazil? Brasilia. Very good. And the language of Brazil? Portuguese. Very good. The name of this country? Paraguay. Very good. And the capital of Paraguay? Asunción. Very good. And the language of Paraguay? Spanish. Very good. The name of this country? Guyana. Very good. And the capital of Guyana? Georgetown. Very good. And the language of Guyana? English. Very good. The name of this country? Argentina. Very good. The capital of Argentina? Buenos Aires. Very good. And the language of Argentina? Spanish. Very good. The name of this country? Venezuela. Very good. The capital of Venezuela is Caracas. Very good. And the language of Venezuela is Spanish. Very good. The name of this country? Uruguay. Very good. The capital of Uruguay is Montevideo. Very good. And the language of Uruguay is Spanish. Very good. The name of this country is? Very good. This one is Bolivia. And the capital of Bolivia is? La Paz. Very good. And what is the language of Bolivia? Spanish. Very good. And the name of this country is? Ecuador. Very good. And the capital of Ecuador is? Quito. Very good. And the language of Ecuador is? Spanish. Very good. And the name of this country is? Peru. Very good. And the capital of Peru is? Lima. Very good. And the language of Peru is? Spanish. Very good. And lastly, but certainly not least, what is the name of this country? Colombia. Very good. And the capital of Colombia is? Bogota. And the language of Colombia is? Spanish. Very good. Okay. Well, you've done excellent. Let's do a little bit of a recap on the territories just because we have time and might as well. But you have the countries nailed down. So, just a little fun fact, just a little refresher. This is the flag of Easter Island, and the language of Easter Island is Spanish. This is the flag of Falkland Islands, and the language of Falkland Islands, which is in South America, is English. And this is the flag of French Guiana, and the language of French Guiana is, surprisingly, French. So those are all the territories of South America. Now, this concludes our little, there it is, this concludes our geography lesson. Once again, thank you for staying after class to recap. I have no doubt that you're going to pass this test with flying colors just like you have the other two tests. But before we end our little session, is there any questions you might have? Oh, okay. Yes, no. So next week we're going to be recapping the countries, capitals, and flags of Asia. That's going to be a very challenging lesson just because there are so many countries in Asia and the names are not necessarily phonetically the easiest to pronounce. However, and it's also the biggest continent, however, it's still going to be a fun thing to undergo, and it's going to be very educational because there's a lot of history in Asia. Is there anything else that you are wondering? Yes, we are going to cover, as I've previously stated, all of the continents in the world. Is there anything else? Okay, good. Well, in that case, keep studying, keep memorizing, and you'll be passing every single test that comes through this class. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. In that case, take care and bye-bye.